This evening, first, police identified the body of a woman found floating in a trench in Eccles. We'll have the latest on the investigation into her mysterious death. Plus, armed robbers strike at Georgetown supermarket, leaving one worker injured. Find out how the brazen thieves made their getaway. Then, Georgetown's infrastructure is set for a major upgrade with nearly $14 billion in road projects underway. We'll tell you which areas are getting a facelift. Also, big changes are coming to Perica Selling to improve safety and organization. Learn what the government has planned for this critical hub. And the United Nations slammed Venezuela's recent presidential election for lacking transparency. We'll have the details on the international fallout. Stay with us for these stories and more coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 14, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, police have identified the body of a woman floating in a trench alongside Eccles Dumpsite Road on the east bank of the Demerara as Angela Andrea Suknanan. The body was discovered around 3 p.m. on Saturday following a call to the police at 911 hotline. The partially decomposed body, believed to be that of a woman in her 30s to 40s, was found face down in the trench. The victim, dressed in black tights, a grey armless top, and wearing one slipper, showed no visible signs of violence, though blood and water were observed flowing from her nostrils. The body was transported to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home. On Sunday, the woman's father, Romel Sukananan, of Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown, identified the body as his daughter, Angela Andrea Sukananan. According to him, Angela was of unsound mind and under a doctor's care. She had last visited her doctor on Thursday, and the following day, she requested money from her mother to travel to Diamond. Her body was discovered the next day in the trench at Eccles Industrial Site. The circumstances leading to her death are under investigation as authorities await the results of a post-mortem examination. In other news, police are investigating an armed robbery that occurred on August 13th at Johnny P. Supermarket in South Renfield Gardens, Georgetown. The incident took place around 8 p.m. when three male suspects, one armed with a handgun, entered the supermarket through an open door. The armed robbers assaulted a 45-year-old female supervisor with the gun, causing a minor laceration, and stole a gold chain from her. They also took a Samsung cell phone valued at $45,000 from a 51-year-old laborer residing at the supermarket. The suspects then accessed the cash register and stole an undisclosed amount of cash before fleeing the scene. Investigators are reviewing CCTV footage as they continue their search for the perpetrators. In a shocking and heinous act of violence, a 53-year-old minor has been arrested after allegedly attempting to murder 44-year-old fellow minor James Thomas at Ibamadai Landing, Upper Mazaruni River on Monday, August 12th. The attack, which has left Thomas with severe second-degree burns, unfolded following a minor dispute over a bottle of high wine. The altercation began while the two men, who knew each other, were imbibing together. A disagreement erupted when Thomas took a bottle of high wine from the 53-year-old suspect and refused to return it. In response, the suspect doused Thomas with alcohol and set him ablaze, causing severe burns. Thomas was initially treated at the Ibamadai Health Post before being transported to the Georgetown Public Hospital for further care. His burns have been classified as second degree. The suspect has been arrested and investigations are ongoing. Stick around when we return. Guyana launches $214 million waste treatment plant, and Georgetown will receive $14 billion in road upgrades.
Good girl forget things.
What's the
problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. Central Georgetown is set to undergo significant infrastructure improvements as the Ministry of Public Works opened bids for nearly $14 billion worth of road construction and rehabilitation projects. Minister of Public Works Bishop Edghill announced that several major roads are being upgraded to accommodate increased traffic. Key projects include transforming sections of Ascension Road to Homestretch Avenue into a 4-lane road. Phase 1 has already been awarded and Phase 2 from Homestretch Avenue to Mandela Avenue is out for tender. Additional upgrades include 600 meters of Thomas Lands Road and 1,500 meters of Carifesta Avenue. New projects will enhance Princess Street to St. Stephen's Street and from St. Stephen's Street to High Street. These efforts reflect a broader initiative to improve Ghana's road networks and overall traffic management. In other news, Ghana is building a $214 million state-of-the-art waste treatment plant to handle garbage more effectively. The new plant, set to be constructed in Coverton, East Bank of the Marara, will create over 40 jobs and align with the country's commitment to sustainable development and achieving the United Nations clean water and sanitation goals by 2030. This facility will use advanced technology to turn waste from oil and gas industries to reusable oil and other useful materials. One of these byproducts, slag, can be used to make construction blocks. This project supports Ghana's clean water and sanitation goals and shows the country's commitment to environmentally friendly practices. The plant will help manage waste better and contribute to a cleaner, greener future for Guyana. Moving on, the government is moving forward with plans to remodel the Perica Stelling to improve parking arrangements for vehicles and vessels and enhance the safety and organization of speedboat dispatches on the Essequibo and Demerara routes. Senior Minister in the Office of the President, Dr. Ashni Singh, informed business owners during a meeting on the Essequibo coast that preliminary designs for the remodeling of the Stelling are being developed and are not yet ready for tender. Minister Singh acknowledged that the current Perica Stelling is inadequate for the area's growing needs. Additionally, Improvements in the ferry service between Parika and Supana were highlighted, including the introduction of 2 new ferries and online booking in 2022. The minister also supported Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo's call for private sector involvement in the water transportation market to meet the increased demand for more efficient crossing services. Dr. Singh assured that the government would continue to discuss and address frequency of ferry crossings. Don't go away after the break. Ukrainian forces now control 74 Russian settlements in Kursk, Zelensky. And researchers suggest the water could be 20 kilometers beneath the surface of Mars.
Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Phonics, reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. A group of United Nations experts has criticized Venezuela's recent presidential election, stating it lacked basic transparency and integrity. The UN panel, along with the Carter Center, condemned the National Electoral Council for declaring Nicolas Maduro the winner without releasing detailed voting tallies. The UN also highlighted concerns over a climate of fear, with over 2,400 detentions and 23 deaths reported following the election. The Venezuelan government dismissed the UN's findings as propaganda. Internationally, Israel's deadliest attack on a school-turned-shelter in Gaza has prompted an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Al-Ghira called for a session after global outrage over the killing of over 100 Palestinians on Saturday. Al Jazeera's Gabriel Alonso reports.
When it comes to Gaza, the contradictions of what the United States says at the United Nations versus what it does in Washington was laid bare during an emergency Security Council meeting in response to Israel's attack on Saturday at a school where Palestinian civilians were sheltering, killing nearly 100 of them.
We mourn every civilian lost in this horrific incident and in this conflict.
At the very moment the meeting was taking place, news came that Washington signed off on a new $20 billion military sales deal with Israel. The atmosphere in the council chamber was tense after the Israeli ambassador claimed his country is
the most moral country in the world. You listen, Palestinian representative.
And then personally attacked both the Palestinian and Algerian representatives. Algeria took the floor again.
Que les 16,000 enfants.
I want to testify here that the 16,000 children who have been killed since the 7th of October didn't kill themselves.
Israel's ambassador then walked out as he was speaking. Resolution 2735, adopted by the Council in June and ordering a ceasefire, has been ignored as Israel continues its attacks on Gaza. By the UN's count, bombing 21 shelters since early July.
This council has a responsibility to end the impunity with which Israel has been carrying out its atrocities against the Palestinian people. It flies in the face of everything that the United Nations is built on: peace and security, human rights, and sustainable development. We cannot allow this to continue.
Show some bravery. Take actions. Stop the criminals in getting away with murder.
It's clear frustrations are beginning to boil over after more than 20 Emergency Security Council meetings on Gaza in the past 10 months have failed to end the genocide. Frustration that the captives have not been released, that Israel continues to act with impunity, and that the U.S. continues to provide arms to the very country doing most of the killing. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, at the United Nations in New York.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's military chief claims that 74 settlements in Russia's western Kursk region are now under Kiev's control. Russian forces have been fighting for a week to repel the incursion that reportedly helped the Ukrainian military run over a territory spanning close to 1,000 square kilometers. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons reports.
Ukraine is now sending Russian prisoners of war back over the border from the Kursk region. It's showing no sign of halting its incursion, while Russia says it's striking back. Here, images of men who appear to be Ukrainian prisoners of war. Social media is awash with claims and counterclaims. Pictures of the dead from both sides contrast darkly with selfies being posted by Ukrainian soldiers in Russia with messages for friends and family back home. By the day, it's becoming clearer how organised the advance has been. Here, more reinforcements head towards the Russian border from Ukraine on Monday. Some of the armoured vehicles with white triangular identity markings. Ukraine is now signalling that it has no intention of wanting to keep Russian territory. Its president says the action has been taken because of the intensity of shelling and missile attacks from Russian territory near the border.
Russia brought war to others, and now it's coming back home. Ukraine has always wanted peace, and we will definitely secure peace.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin says if Zelensky thinks by making the incursion he can improve his negotiating position, he's badly mistaken. Putin has sworn to repel the advances of Ukrainian forces. While the fighting continues, Russian civilians are continuing their attempts to cope with the hardships that have become a normality for their Ukrainian neighbours. Here, evacuees from border areas arrive at camps in the north of the Belgorod region. One of them had been thinking more of their livestock than other possessions.
We left the chickens at home. We gave them 2 bags of grain, some water, and left. Maybe there'll be nothing to return to.
These people are sullen and only too aware of the situation. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera.
Finally, scientists are exploring the possibility that Mars, often seen as a barren red planet, could be hiding an ocean beneath its surface. Researchers suggest that water may exist up to 20 kilometers beneath the Martian's crust. If confirmed, this discovery could revolutionize our understanding of Mars and its potential to support life. Al Jazeera's Barbara Ngopa reports.
3 billion years ago, scientists say Mars was a wet planet. A new discovery based on seismic measurements from NASA's Mars InSight lander is helping to unlock the mystery of how it turned into a desert.
We know that Mars once had rivers, oceans, potential oceans and lakes on its surface. And one of the big questions was, where did the water go? Because the planet is now dry and cold. There are thoughts that some of the water escaped when Mars lost its atmosphere. Is it in minerals? How much is in liquid water? We've learned something new about the hydrogeological or the water cycle on Mars, that much of that water is now underground.
Scientists say if it can be extracted, it will increase the likelihood of human settlement on the red planet.
NASA has an instrument on the Perseverance rover which has manufactured oxygen. So we just need water in some form for human existence as well as making rocket fuel. Elon Musk is making Starship, which can carry 200 people to Mars in 6 months. So it's all coming together. So, in 10, 15 years, it might not look like a science fiction anymore.
The researchers behind this study warn it will be extremely difficult to reach the water, estimated to be as deep as 20 kilometers below the Martian surface.
What we do on Earth is we often circulate fluids or muds to help drilling get a little bit easier. On Mars, you'd have to bring that or produce it somehow. You need the power, you need the equipment, so it would be very challenging.
If they can get the water to the surface, it would also go a long way to answering the question of whether there's life on Mars. Barbara Ngopa, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.